Traveling is so perspective broadening. Might be the
Yes, yes. Every time we vacation somewhere, I come back home, everything looks a little bit different. Does that make sense?
everything feels different, everything looks different. It's like that. It's kind of like the art thing all over again. Like art has meaning because of context, and when you
Correct.
leave, your context expands.
And your brain has to be willing to think like that. When you're younger and you look at a piece of art, whatever, right? But as you get older, you start to equate things in your life,
But that's for
experiences
the
you've
that's
had.
for the context. That's what I've learned because I didn't give a shit about art for like ever. I'm like,
I
oh,
agree.
art, it's kind of nice, but who cares?
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. And you know who like really impresses me a lot, are people, I mean, the masters, that are out there and all that, but
hmm
what's really starting to get me is like, um, have you ever seen, I'm trying to think who painted this. It's it's the Tesseract. You know what a Tesseract is by chance?
Kinda. I've heard somebody bring this up recently, but I don't know what it is. I know what it is metaphorically.
So Salvador Dali, um, Picasso, a couple of folks, they were hanging out doing drugs.
As one
And
does.
yeah, they were all kind of socialites, they got together and they were trying to talk about what would the fourth dimension look like. Well, in physics, the fourth dimension is time, but they were like spatially talking about fourth dimension. So
hmm
one of them came up with this square within a square, and they were able to put their mind into it and visualize what four dimensions would look like based off of that. And I was like, when you're a kid, you're like, whatever. But as you get older, you're like, this is intriguing. I wonder how they.
Like, I don't know if you figured it out, but you're onto something here.
It's crazy. It's crazy. How you been though, man? Everything good?
Yeah, I don't know. It's life.
Yeah, it's life. It's life. We're on a treadmill, baby.
This is how like they have games, right? And they have like you won that round. And I'm just like
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, well, life is that game on survival mode.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% right. You get one life in there.
That's it, man. You get one shot at this shit, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Your mic might be a little bit hot, just a little bit hot.
Yeah,
You're
yeah. I can
clipping a
fix
little
that.
bit.
I can fix that.
Cool, cool.
Let's see how that goes.
Oh, that sounds good. Nice and clear.
Sounds good.
Oh
All
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
I like it some old Twain lines. You ever read any Twain?
What is it again?
Twain, Mark Twain.
Oh, Twain. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love
I
Mark
have
Twain.
I've been digging into him more and more over the past few
He's a
years.
genius. He's a freaking
Dude,
genius.
he calls himself a humorist.
Yes. Now that, my friend, is proper, right? He puts himself self-deprecating enough, but to get away with, he's highbrow.
It's like he's like a funny Nietzsche.
Hmm. Hmm. It's insane. And it's funny because the people of his time he didn't care for, he could make fun of them in a way that they don't even realize. Just, I mean, that takes like a next level.
From an elevated position, right?
Yeah, that's next level for sure.
It was, dude. I really enjoy his stuff, but I come back to him because we were talking about travel, right?
Hmm.
And he has a few things on travel. One is travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts.
Nice, nice, nice.
Because
That is an intelligent statement
that's the things that travel eliminates: the prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. I would say narrow-mindedness of all of it.
of all of them. Yeah, I would, if you rank them, that would be number one for sure, man, for sure.
Hey,
And do you know he's on PBS? Why is his name not hitting me? Tall
I
white dude with glasses. He's a
don't know.
traveling guy. Anyway, he did this like sort of like one man show where he talked about his travels, but in
Oh,
between he
Rick
would interject.
Stevens?
Yeah, Rick Steves.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see that
I'm
special he
dating
had
myself
where
now.
did what now?
I'm dating myself right now.
It's okay. Hey man, hey, you know what? He's still on the air, so it's okay. He's not dead.
Well, he does reviews of his work. He doesn't actually do work now.
Nah, it's funny though that he did a special. He talked about his travels and such, but the
Right?
coolest part was is he interjected thoughts in between, and basically it's exactly what you're referencing. Exactly what you're referencing about travel. Speaking of travel, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
I might have an opportunity in 2027 to go to Egypt because they have a full solar eclipse for 7.5 minutes. It's the longest one it'll be in my lifetime. That goes right past the pyramids and Luxor and everything. And I'm thinking about it. I'm going to put some money aside and see what happens. My problem is, and I'm going to ask you, have you ever been to Egypt?
Haha. No.
Hey, man, you know what? There was one guy, I was like, yeah, I was in England and blah, blah, blah. I was going on and on and on. He's like, oh, yeah, I got a second house there. I'm like, what? I would have never have thought that. So I'm not ever going to judge, man.
Well,
Never.
that's a drop in the bucket to some people, man.
That's that's expensive to go there. I get it, but it's a maybe a once in a lifetime kind of thing too, you know?
This is whatever you spend money on, somebody does it 1,000 times bigger, and they don't even care.
It's true. We were talking about that too, weren't we, on text? Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Ugh, drop in the bucket, man.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is it kind of ties into our whole, we were talking about timelines and I guess you could
Mm-hmm.
say big events that happen historically and how do they happen. And I'm still going on record and saying that aliens have nothing to do with why the pyramids were built. I'm going to go on record. I will say that to my dying day. Because have you ever seen, do you know what in Egypt they call it? It's in the city of Luxor, and I think it's called the Valley of the Kings, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Maybe I'm a little off, but
Now I've
there's
heard
this
of it.
there's this temple there that makes the pyramids look like Lego blocks compared to like something
Really?
insane. Oh my God. These statues are like 20, 30 foot tall. And then the inscriptions and then the columns and everything that they did in Egypt in the middle of the
Yep.
frickin' desert,
Yep.
unless the aliens helped them with that stuff too. I don't know, bro. But
Mm.
we were talking about lost technology and all that. I'm really curious what your thoughts are. I really need to know.
Man, I was gonna wait for Michael to roll all of it out. But I think I have so much stuff to talk about in this regard. It's gonna take more than one episode.
That's okay. That's okay. I love it, man. Yeah, every time we talk, I learn something new. Honestly.
That's the goal of life, if you ask me.
Amen. Yeah, for
I kind of
sure.
turned that into a thing in like high school days because I don't know what I was, a freshman or whatever the hell, but it was. I started thinking I was like, they just force feeding all this stuff down on us,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, why? What's the
Yeah.
purpose of it? The purpose of it is to learn it. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm here to actually learn something, not memorize something, which is what
Hmm.
most of it is, right?
Right.
Then I kind of resolved. I know there's a lot going on in 8 classes a day or whatever, but I'm like, if I could just learn one thing a day,
Hmm.
I could just
Hmm.
actually learn it. Like I learned it today, and I'll remember it till I die. If I
Yep.
could just do that, I'll be so much farther ahead uh,
Yes.
than where I think I might be if I just tried to pass the tests and do the things right.
It's true. Do you know
Yeah.
who Dr. Michio Kaku is? Have you ever
Yep.
heard of him? Okay.
Yep.
His daughter, I forget what she was. It was either like neurology or something like that, right? Some high level healthcare type
Of course.
position, right? And he said that he was interested to see how she was learning, right? because he's a learned man, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she was taking some major final on this particular subject and she had to read this book and yada yada. He was so upset by that because she had to basically memorize and regurgitate. And he said, "That's not learning. That's not learning." He
That's
goes, he
memorizing.
was, oh, he was so upset. He went on a whole tangent about it. It was interesting because literally, I've never seen him upset. He's usually kind of just sort of bumbly, but
Very, very indifferent usually.
right? No, he was. I'll have to find that video and rewatch it, but he was so upset by it, and he was mostly upset at the fact that this is how our major universities and schools, like you said
Yeah,
earlier,
schooling in general. Yeah.
it's just funnel in the head and just pour in whatever they want. There's no learning.
That's so terrible.
You know, because like if you took an interest in a subject, how would you start? What would you do? What would be the first thing you would do? That,
Step
like, say,
one,
what would be step one? What would be step one?
defining.
Defining what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. This is biology or whatever. Just what is biology? Okay, and you define it. Then from there, you kind of find examples in the real world. Find examples how it might apply in your real life. Then maybe find examples of ways you could build on what's been had or what's been discovered or what's
Hmm.
been alchemized, right? We like
Yeah, yeah. Good
that
point.
alchemy thing. That alchemy thing's a good one because
It
it covers
is.
so much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, what about would you? I mean, I hate to say this. I'm like old school. I still
Mm.
like going to libraries, honestly. I really do.
I got
I have.
Grok in my pocket. I'm never.
Don't get
I'm
me
done.
wrong. I'm on the internet all day long, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of a,
I think
kind
that's
of
on
a,
the thing for you, maybe.
yeah. It's. I don't know. I just something about a tangible book and flipping through and looking at pictures and what have
Yeah.
you. It seems like maybe I'm dating myself on that one, but
A little bit nostalgic, like I said.
yeah.
I don't know. I've never cared for reading, though. Are you a reader?
Not really. But as I've gotten older, I find myself forcing myself to like it a little more. Because back in the day, like, read this book. I hated that. I would go to the back chapter and try to read the summary if I could, because I didn't want to cut through all that nonsense. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like, I don't know. I Meanwhile, my wife, she could the Harry Potter books. She read them all, and she's like night after night just sitting there, and I'm like, I
That's a
can't do it.
different thing, though, because that's like a whole world you get sucked into, and then
Yeah,
once
yeah.
you're sucked into it, then you can't even put the book down. So then it's a whole.
That's kind of what happened to her. So I guess there's that, right? You know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Once you're
okay,
captivated by something,
what's your favorite subject? Like, let's say right now, today, if you were to go to the library or go on the internet, what would be your favorite topic right now today to learn?
it's kind of always been the same, really. It's the philosophy stuff.
If I handed you a 3-inch, very small font book, would you find yourself
Oof.
reading it in a week, a month, a year? You know what I'm saying?
Ever? I don't know.
Isn't that the
I
truth?
have I had like two books
Yeah.
that just stay in my truck. No, three. I had the Army manual.
Oh yeah. No, there's good stuff in there. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
There's a survival shit in there, dude. It's
You know
like
what?
the dot one dot whatever, you know.
No, it's true. I've got a Boy Scout book. You're gonna laugh. That Boy Scout book, honestly, my wife and I were out in the middle of nowhere camping one time, and I caught a fish, and I took it, I wrapped it in aluminum foil after I cleaned it, put a lemon and butter, and shoved it under the ashes. That's what the book said, and the thing cooked perfectly. And I was like, because I was gonna like cook it on top, and all, I mean, you could do that, but I was like, it tasted even better. It's like, thank you, Boy Scouts.
It's like you steamed it almost.
Yeah, it did. It was perfect. I would have never have thought of that. And
Yeah.
not like for survival stuff, do you look at that too? There's some crazy
I
stuff
got
in
a,
there.
I got a bushcraft book. I actually gave it to my boy. I think he might have lost it, but I still got
Oh,
my I still got my army book. I just gave it to him because I thought he might read it, flip through it, look at it, that kind of
Sure.
shit. You know,
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
figure.
yeah, yeah.
Wants to go get a figure four going one day, right? Yeah, deadfall.
You ever see, and I'm sure you have, um, it talks about how to take an enemy out by sneaking up on them. Have you ever see that?
No, I know the one that something in this lane I found pretty neat was the button hook.
Oh, the button hook.
You know about the button hook?
Talk to me.
Like if you're being tailed,
Oh, go on.
because if you're being tailed, you don't want to let the person behind you know that you think you're onto them, right?
Right,
I
right.
don't know if I could draw this on here, but basically, you're going down a path, and the button hook isn't a turn around look at them, because then you just gave up your
Right,
advantage in the situation, right? And you
right.
don't go down and then turn and look at them, because then you just wait for them. But what you'll do is you'll end up coming around and you'll button hook it. So you'll be off to the side watching them come through.
Oh,
It's pretty
fantastic.
neat. I
Okay.
don't know.
That's clever. No, that's clever.
It's little shit like this, right? It's like, I don't know if
Write
it's,
that one
yeah, little shit like
down.
that, right?
No, there was one where if you sneak up on someone, you hold your knife. This is awful to talk about, but oh,
Yeah,
here, a
whatever.
little Leatherman here. Like so, you grab this way, or no,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, you grab them by the face and you turn them, and then this little right
Expose that
around the
area.
collarbone there, the knife goes in and you pull backwards. And what it is there's all your vessels, your nerves, all kinds of lovely
Mm-hmm.
stuff right in this area here.
Because it's gonna go both. Each side is gonna have its own.
In this case, you only need the one side. When you pull the face over, it distracts them enough, and they actually tense their neck, which makes it even easier to go boop, and that does the trick. Here's how I know it works.
Oh boy.
I actually had a student who was, this is crazy, and and you would think it's make believe. It is not make believe. This dude was a Army Ranger, and then he became a Navy SEAL. This dude was the baddest dude. He and I got along so well. This is the crazy part. He ended up getting a job. He's an air marshal. Do you know what an air marshal is by chance?
Yeah, they fly on the plane. Their
You
last
don't even know
effort.
that they're there, right? They blend in
Mm-hmm.
and they're able to carry a gun and all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This dude didn't need a gun. He was the real deal.
The
And
weather weapon.
well, I brought up the subject about that. You know what I had learned from that one book, and he literally told me he brought in a couple of like play knives, one with like that has like Mike has it, where it's a wire that goes across, and we actually trained that and did other things. He showed me a whole bunch of other cool stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a good one. That's old school. That's World War II stuff, World War One stuff." He goes, "Here's some World War III stuff for you." I was like, "Oh my God, these guys are nuts." He says, "You don't even bother with this." He says, "You grab the nose, pull back, and right to the eye." He goes, "They're not going to attack you." He goes, "It's simple." He said, "You do that." He goes, "It's soft tissue. Even if they close their eye as hard as they want, you go jab." And then he
Yeah,
goes, "If you're really nasty, you jab the other one too."
there's no
He
eyelid
says,
stopping that.
he says this you might miss, or you might go across the collarbone, or
I was
he
thinking about
says,
if you hit the collarbone, it'll complicate your scenario.
right, right,
Not
right.
that
And
they'll be doing great, but like in a scuffle, weird things can happen, right?
oh yeah, absolutely. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
you damage that eye,
Oh,
the
their whole
fight's
world
done.
is upside down once that happens, boy.
It's done. It's done. Drugs or no drugs, man. No eyes. You're done.
Yeah, I was thinking that you were actually gonna say to keep going through the eye. That's what I was.
You can, right?
That's
There's nothing
that's where I
civil
thought it
about,
was going. Yeah.
but I mean, like incredible stuff. He was showing me stuff that that you don't normally train in a martial arts school,
There's some guys I would, man,
right?
if I could just train with a couple of these guys that I've seen over the years, man.
Yeah.
There's one guy I really like. He's the old SF guy, and
Okay.
he talks about his days, probably like 90s, 2000s,
Oh yeah.
where he was enlisted and they knew he was doing it. And he was going around, kind of like 90s days is what I have in my head, to where they still had those like underground brawl scenes
Oh yeah.
in different parts of the world, but like ones where people really got hurt.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
like maybe they fight to the death. I don't know, almost dead. Who knows? But
Yeah.
he would talk about that his officers over him knew he was doing this stuff, and he was going and fighting on these things on the weekends and stuff. Like
There's that stuff was going on.
he was in Asian countries and stuff doing it,
That's
dude. The
crazy.
level of savagery that you have to get
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
it's
Makes
like
MMA. Yeah, it makes MMA look tame. The stuff that they
it
do.
is.
You know.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, this is the conversation me and my friend get into all the time. Uh, it's gonna piss a lot of people off, but there's
Go ahead.
fighting and then there's violence.
Yes. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
And there's a distinction here.
You're absolutely right
Because
about that.
fighters usually go for an incapacitation, whereas real violence, I'm trying to flatline you.
So the craziest thing ever, right? This conversation you and I are having right now, I just had with my cop buddy. I'm not kidding, swear to God.
In the water.
He's a martial artist. He started way back when I joined the school he was at. I already had black belts and the whole bit, but he and I would pair up and work out because I knew he wanted to be a cop. Well, he's been a cop 17 years, and he goes back to the school and he says a lot of these kids that train the sport aspect of it and they win like a title or something,
The mindset thing.
that's the fighting, and then he'll go in there and actually do like a self-defense seminar, and they're like lost. They don't like they don't even know how to fight, and they're black belts and they've won world titles, but they
That's
don't know how
scary.
to fight.
That's so scary.
Well, I told his name is Doug.
Because you
Says,
know
but
those people, those kids, especially the ones that are black belts, they think they know what they can do.
they
It's like
don't.
the mindset that's
They
to
don't know
this that
shit.
is missing.
They don't know shit, man.
It's
You know, you're absolutely right, Brian.
trained
Right.
for it. That Mike Tyson line, right? Like, that guy planned to get punched in the face, and it's
Right in the
like
face.
they're ready for the punch in the face. It seems now, but they're not ready for someone to stick their fingers inside their eyeball and take it out.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Because
it's
that's
true. Yeah, no, it's true. So check this out. This is interesting. Have you seen this yet? Where they do fighting in a car? It's a tournament.
yeah, that's so
You have seen
cool.
it?
That's
That's
some of
awesome.
it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I was watching that, and me and my buddies used to do that all the time. Like, right? Like the guy that's sitting in the back, all of a sudden they'll grab you around the neck, and he's like, "What are you gonna do?" You know, and I'm like, I'll bite his ass, or or like I'll, take and just frickin' just start pulling his skin, like I'm trying to rip an apple in half, and just stuff
Mhm.
like that. I mean, we would hurt each other up to a point, and then we'd laugh it off. But dude, that's training. That's like we would do that shit all the time to each
So
other.
there's, oh man, I dive in, whatever.
Talk to me.
But
Talk to me.
so there's some scenarios where I just try to I try to take these emotions, I guess you'll call it. Like that's a
Go ahead.
certain emotion in that frame, and
Yeah.
I try to put it on the lamest person, just
Yeah.
to kind of
Got
get
you.
their mind to flip. And
Yeah.
and one time a while back, I think I even wrote it on X. I was like, because everybody wants to play the goody goody thing. Everybody's got humility,
Sure.
uh, and it's like everybody wants to try to pretend they're the nice person. And I just
Hmm.
know how evil people can get, and it's just
Yes.
like the best thing I came up with was like, you think you have morals until me and you go into a room and they lock the door and
Yep.
they say that only one of us can leave.
Hmm. Yep. It's game on, right?
You find out in a moment like that what you're actually made of.
Brian, here's something that's been spooking me and haunting me for a long time.
Okay.
Ready?
But the whole scenario, I try to paint that picture for like a regular Joe because they don't
Dude.
think about like everybody has
No,
these preconceived notions about who they are and stuff, and it's like most
that's all
people aren't
fine.
tested.
No, that's a
It's all
civilized thought process, right?
yeah. Walking down the street, I could be the nicest guy too, but it's just like I
No.
don't know.
So this was this guy said this, and it's stuck in my head. It's been stuck ever since for years.
That's me.
He said your dog at home, if you two were stuck in a room and neither one of you ate food for a length of time, at some point somebody's going to snap. Somebody's going to eat somebody. and
Hunger
and
is a good one.
they said that your dog, when everything else fails, if they're hungry enough, they're not going to go, oh, I'll just lay here and starve and die. No, they will attack you. They don't care.
I don't know. I
No,
don't
I'm telling
know.
you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I could see it. I could see it.
I couldn't see
Absolutely.
it for certain, but there's loyal dogs I would bet that wouldn't too.
I'm telling you. There's, have you ever seen that where this is gross?
Hunger
Where
is the
an old
one though.
person will
That all
die?
the hunger thing.
Yeah, an old person will die, and then they'll find the body like a week later, and the dog is like chomping away at it. It's like taking like, oh my God, what the hell happened? Well, the dog got hungry. It hasn't eaten in a week, so it decided to eat on its owner. It's laying there. It's like,
But we were already
oh,
dead in that scenario, so
it's crazy. Well, yeah, truth. Yeah.
that's a
But
little bit different.
kind of back to what you said though, um, like two people in a room, one only makes it out. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man.
You
It's
find
brutal.
exactly what you're made of in a moment like that.
Absolutely. And you got to know something, man. You just brute force won't do it anymore.
And
It used
it's
to be.
not it's not exactly why I tell people it. It's just this naivety.
Yeah.
It's this bubble that people live in, and it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
unsafe.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, but you can go your whole life and not have to ever go to that
Yeah,
extreme.
yeah, yeah. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be ready.
Yeah, true.
Because you can't
Um,
be one of those people that starts thinking, like many do today, that danger is just something that happens to other people.
I got stuck, still on the same subject. I got stuck watching this YouTube video of this guy, and the title was 10 Movies I Will Never Watch Again Because They're That Messed Up. And I was like, okay, I got to see his list. Maybe I've
Messed
seen
up
one or
in
two,
my way.
right? He's going down the list, and about 7 of the 10 are foreign films I've never even heard about. And then he brought up this one that he was like just talking and talking about it and explaining it and talking. He goes, this one really affected me deep. He goes, you're gonna watch it one time and you're never gonna watch it again. It's worth watching one time. Guess what? I did it. I watched it. It was a French film, and
Mm.
it was this beautiful, beautiful woman, and she was in love with this handsome young guy, and the handsome young guy's best friend, and they're palling around, and they would go to a bar, and they're hanging out, and everybody's laughing and so on, and everybody kind of went their separate ways. Well, this guy catches the beautiful girl and attacks her, like in the worst possible way you can even imagine in your
Some
mind.
sadistic shit. Mm.
Way out. It was so graphic that and he was like, as he was doing things to her, and yes, that he was smashing her face, like elbowing her face, punching her face, and saying, "This is for being so beautiful," kind of, like really gratuitous, right?
Ooh, that's evil.
So the guy that was dating her is calling her phone, calling her phone, calling her phone, and then ER doctor picks it up and says, she's at the hospital, you got to get here, blah, blah, blah. Didn't give him any details. So he gets there. His best friend calls him and he's like, hey, everybody home safe? He's like, no, I'm heading to the hospital. Anyway, long story short, his best friend uh, knew people, right? And started asking around, who do you know that might have done this? Well, it ended up, it was at that same club they were at, but that there was like a back room,
Mm.
and he ended up finding the guy, and what he did to him was worse than what he did to that girl. And I mean, it was bizarre. It was like it
The
was.
Dante's Inferno.
Oh man, it was insane. It was like
There's
um,
layers of
there,
hell.
there was exhibitionism going on, male exhibitionism, while and then he's beating this guy while that's going. It was like I'm watching this and I'm literally looking around like I hope to God my wife doesn't come in the room because she's going to be like,
Yeah.
"What in God's name are you
They
watching?"
make it French. I don't know.
Right? And it ended up. I watched it and there was no happy ending. It was awful. And
Ooh,
then the police raided the place and
it's my kind
arrested
of
the.
thing.
I'll have to remember, but I was like, he was 100% right. It's a one watch, but it shows you, like you said, it went from
Mm.
this lovely, beautiful, everybody's good. This lady's got to marry this guy. It's going to happen. Everybody's friendly. Oh, he's going
Yeah.
to be the best man. And then that happens. And then what happens after that? I mean, I'm describing it in the most rated G way I can, but it
Yeah.
was like, it bordered triple X. It bordered gratuitous everything. It was
Man,
insane, insane.
that's cool. I like the movies with the no happy ending. I like those sometimes.
I'll have to find it and let you watch it if you want. Just make sure no kids or anybody are looking over your shoulder because
It's a family movie, right?
yeah, okay. The Manson family movie maybe, but yeah. I mean, I every now and then I get intrigued with things like that. Not that I seek it out. I'm
Mm.
like really, this is a one-shot movie. Let me
Well,
make that decision.
I think with these kind of things, it's the idea of it that's intriguing.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
can be as graphic as it wants, or whatever, or be as minimal as it wants. It doesn't really matter.
right.
It's the idea of it. The same way that horror films back in the day would be horror films, but it wouldn't. They didn't have the CGI. They didn't have the ability to be so graphic. But they would like show the knife, and they'd go like this, and then they cut away. But you know who killed her, and another thing happened. But it's
Yeah.
like the scenarios given are the interesting part.
Okay, did Blair Witch Project scare you?
Well, I was down the road from my house at the time.
What? That would freak me out. I was freaking out.
I think I was down in Greenbelt. I think that was.
That's hilarious. I had no idea. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the steps for the exorcism I saw pretty young in my life too.
Oh,
The way
oh,
the window, the steps. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah. I
yes,
didn't
yes,
have
yes.
context for it for a few years after I seen it, but once I did, I was like, oh, that's what the
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, absolutely, man. I get that. I get that.
Just make it step. And you could look at like was it Hansel and Gretel?
That was pretty crazy. Yeah, that was
Dude,
pretty.
the Brothers Grimm had some
Oh,
twisted stories, man.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. But you know what?
Like, they teach the kids certain things today. Those are the stories they were telling the kids so they wouldn't go off and, with
Yeah,
some strangers or something.
yeah, yeah. My
That's crazy.
daughter,
You're
it
giving your
was.
kids nightmares in speech form so that they don't fuck around.
It's crazy. I agree with you, man. Yeah. My daughter has she kind of likes the macabre a little bit. I mean, she's not like an emo or any of that nonsense. She just she'll like a
What's the
good
macabre?
scary movie. What's that?
Oh, okay.
You
And
know, like
macabre, like
yeah, like the spooky. Like this is her month. I even told her she's coming by
yeah.
tonight, and she's like, yeah, I want to see this scary movie. Blah blah blah. Like she's into it, and I'm
Put
like,
it out now. So I would think they're decent.
yeah. But I don't know. Every now and then it's interesting to see things like that. Not that I seek it out, but it's like if I run across something, it's like when we were kids. I remember my nephews were close to my age. We were watching The Pope of Greenwich Village. Did you ever see that with Mickey Rourke?
Mm-mm.
Um,
Mm-mm.
it was like a Boston Irish mob kind of movie, and it was betting on
Yeah.
horses, and like you mess up, they take a finger off, like that kind of stuff. But it's like the movie was just basically like it was Casino before Casino, right? It was one of those kind of
Mm.
movies, and it was a really good
Okay.
movie. But here I am, like 11 years old watching the Pope of Greenwich Village. It's like kids don't watch
Dude,
this kind of crap.
I am tripped out by some of this stuff anymore because I can
Really?
remember watching Jurassic Park when I was like 5.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
But I
yeah.
want to show it to my kids, and I tell my wife this and stuff. She's like, hell no. And they're older than 5, so I'm like, come on, we gotta get them ready.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's crazy, man. Yeah, movies. Tell you, man. There's some
That's the
movies that
idea.
they
It's the
just look
idea.
like
It doesn't
fun.
even have to be graphic, but once it plants
No.
that seed,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even the good. There's movies that like they're the happy movies like It's a Wonderful Life. That one stuck with me, but they play it every freaking year, like multiple times. It's like I'm done. But the first time I saw that, I was like, what did I just watch? That was amazing. It's like it's pretty cool to see
yeah.
stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't typically seek out the other kind of stuff, but like this month, October, yeah, I'll lean into all that.
Do you? Yeah. You know what? That's good that you said that because that makes me justified to go ahead and look into stuff like that too this month, just for fun.
Hey,
You know?
well, just I don't know. Don't box your curiosity in just because it's that time of year, but it does accentuate it and put it in your face a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, when I was younger, one of the videos that was like a big deal. Did you remember Faces of Death? Did you ever hear about that?
Oh my God, dude!
You
That would be
remember
an
that?
original rotten right there, man.
Yeah, you remember that. Yeah, where they actually
Yeah,
like they show somebody getting shot by a gun. They show somebody being
yeah.
eaten by an alligator. They show
Had a
somebody.
million times.
Yep, 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 yep. I
You see
watched
it?
that with one. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Whoa.
Somebody literally dying on video. It's nothing staged. It's real life. It was like
I
crazy.
saw one. The one that always stands out to me is this guy was on a subway and he was like looking to see if the train was coming. Looked over and the train came. It took his head off,
Oh my
and
God.
and
Oh,
the ride because it was coming to a stop. So the train was coming to a stop, and the whole time it was moving. His eyes were moving. His things like he was
oh my
alive, still looking around. And as
God.
soon
Oh
as the
my
train
God.
stopped, is when he like got lifeless. So I
Oh,
can imagine being that driver who had to look at that for the next 100 feet or whatever the hell.
Jesus.
Oh my God, dude!
I'd have to retire. I'd have to retire right there. Be like, I'm out, Yeah,
What are the odds? What are the odds that happens again in your career?
insane, man. The drownings. You ever see when they pull the bodies up from a drowning where it's all bloated and blue looking and the face looks, oh my God.
I haven't
Those,
seen too many drowning ones.
yeah, those mess me up. I've seen the one
But
where the
they get
one
bloated.
guy,
Yeah.
yeah, he somehow I don't know. He was doing something and he was in a sewer and water came rushing and he couldn't get out and there was a grate and he tried to get out but the water was exceeding that. So then it's like his hands were wrapped in there and they had to like cut the grate and they pulled him out and he was like this bloated bag of flesh. It was disgusting. And they showed the whole thing and
Nice.
I'm like, my God. There's no scary
Things
movie
I
that can
thought
scare
I
me.
was the city for 1,000, Alex.
Yeah, nuts, man. I'm sure Menino has probably some good ones, you know? It's crazy.
Maybe. No.
I've seen people
Funny.
actually, I've seen a guy die. That was very scary for me at work. He was on a gurney and he was going to go get a CT done and he was in the hallway and they had him kind of strapped into this gurney and he was a big guy and he started foaming at the mouth and he was purple. And then one of the nurses, I was walking down the hall, started screaming, and they came out and started doing CPR on this guy. He died, but it was just crazy to see him have basically a cardiac arrest right there on a gurney. I mean, just spit and all kinds of nastiness coming out, and I mean, it's like that's how you go out. It's kind of scary, kind of scary.
You could have dementia, so there's worse ways.
That is true, but then you wouldn't really cognitively worry about it. I hate to say it, but
You
that's
will when it causes you pain.
That
Because
is
if you're
true.
not paying attention to the world, you don't know the world that you're in, and you
That is
start
true.
mouthing off to people, or who the hell knows what, you know?
Yeah, or walk off in the middle of winter into the woods. I've heard about
Which
that. That
actually
always
apparently is not so bad.
really because it gets cold and then everything gets quiet and you get slow and then everything kind of slowly shuts
Everything gets
off again.
warm.
Oh, interesting.
Funny. Yeah, well, my great uncle, I guess he would have been, kind of died on his
Oh,
property. When,
on those terms,
but
I'm sorry.
yeah, he bounced back, but he
Wow, that's amazing.
he got stuck out there. But he was just in there wandering next to a tree. But what he said about it was that
Huh?
after a while, he just felt everything kind of all the tension kind of eased up. His whole body got real warm, and then
Wow,
he just kind of went to sleep.
that's wild. Holy cow. Well,
Yeah, he
I
kind
know.
of. I don't know how close he was to death, but he was knocking on it.
Interesting. Wow, man, that's crazy. I don't know. I love the Three Stooges, and they said, "Do you want to die by?" Uh, um, what was the story? It was an executioner, and he said to them, "How do you wish to die?" And Curly said, "By old age." So that's what I'm going with. I'm sticking with old age. Choose your
Mm.
death. That's what he said. Choose your death. Old age. Good enough for me.
Maybe I could think of the only thing to say is I want to die with my shield or on it.
Hmm. Okay. Well, everybody I know that lived to be like 90 something pretty much fell asleep and never woke up. I don't know. That to me seems like a
There's
very
better
easy
ways to
way.
go out.
If you're doing something noble, like a noble cause, I could see that. I could see that.
Maybe just
You
get a
know,
squirrel suit without a parachute.
that's true too. There's that. You can make the news. You can make the news for like a half hour. They'd have to say your first and last name in public out loud.
I
That would
guess
be your
they'll
obituary.
start a trend.
So, well, I'm curious, kind of real quick, if you don't mind, back to Egypt for a second, because we were getting
Mm.
stuck on that. We were talking that up pretty good,
I,
and I've been,
dude, I was actually 2 times this week now. I've listened to a podcast where they're go diving in deep. I'm just refraining because I'm just holding my notes. Whatever.
I can't
We're gonna
wait.
get there. We're
Well,
gonna get there.
we could scratch it a little bit here, because
And now
I,
there's so much to cover. We could talk about all of it and then talk about it again, dude. There's so much here.
it's amazing.
But Egypt visit, I would say, because I don't know, other than the way, because I'm just too ignorant about it. But
Mhm.
because part of me wants to say that Egypt might not be the place for the eclipse. Because I
Hmm.
don't know how much of their stuff is geared for the solstices and things. I think there is, and I know that the pyramid, especially Giza, is pointed in a certain direction or whatever the hell. But
Hmm.
I don't know how many things there are actually like when an eclipse happens. Is there going to be certain shadows that you'll see from the structures that are specific to things like this, or?
So they being the Egyptians, did
Mm.
record astronomical events with the sun.
They knew
They
about
worship
these things.
they worshiped Ra, that whole thing, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they actually there's a term because everything is cyclical, right? And
Mm-hmm.
each cycle, nuts. I gotta when we talk next time, I'll be read up on it. I actually read the book,
Mm.
and it talks about that they were able to record it long enough to suddenly see the recurring cycle. So much so that there was an English astronomist, yeah, I guess you could call him that, that he was able to predict in England where the eclipse, how long it would be, what it's. He was off a little bit, but in essence, he was able to use those records to then come up with where the next total eclipse would occur and where it would go through. Um, I'm talking very vaguely, but the point is, it's like it's now down to I've got an app I can look up 300 years in advance anything. right? 400 years in advance, 500 years. It's all pretty much baked in. It's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, once they can get it to a computer model, it's pretty on point.
It is. It pretty much is, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't that wild though, to think that everything is like pretty well mapped out when it comes to that kind of stuff, you know, for the most part.
Uh,
You've got your rogue
I was
comets that come in.
I was talking to Michael about this, I think, a few weeks ago. They were talking about how I think it was Hubble passed across some spot. Maybe it was James Webb passed across some spot. They were like, "Oh, look at the planet right there, whatever the hell." And then they were like, "All right." So then it came back around. They were hoping to see it again, see if it moved, see whatever. And the damn thing was gone.
Ah, ah,
It was just gone.
interesting.
Like this is exactly where it was, and now it's gone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So things, I don't know.
Interesting.
You'd say cycles, right? But then you think about quantum.
Well, there's that.
Quantum doesn't shit about a cycle.
That's at least 10 podcast episodes to talk about the quantum,
Right. But it's
Yeah,
like you expect these things to happen, but there's all kinds of like idiosyncrasies in the matrix.
yeah. I have to agree. There's the latest theory um, that I was reading up on, actually reading it, had to do with how particles, I think we talked about this, where they can materialize and dematerialize and materialize and dematerialize. And, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought?
Well, we would have thought if we listened when we knew that we don't create anything. No, and they say energy is not destroyed, right? It just changes.
Well, yeah. And as there's a law, the law of where there's the conversion. Let me make sure I say this properly. You can't get anything from nothing. There's always a one to one, right? It's
What
like
is the Big Bang? The Big Bang clause thing too.
well, yeah, it's kind of like the exchange of energy, like an atomic bomb. There's the material and then there's the energy aspect of it, and the law of conservation. That's what I was trying to spit out. So it's like you can't have more of one thing. It's like there's a certain amount of math
Balance.
involved where you get a 1 to 1, great, but it's not 1 to 2. It's always 1 to 1 or one and a little bit less than one kind of situation.
That's like a
And
cause and effect thing.
it is, but it's kind of interesting to think like that
It
because
sounds like appropriated cause and effect, like the level of matches the level of or something.
right, right. That's why we can't do like Mike was showing me some videos about perpetual motion machines. No such thing. It's not going to happen. And if you look at a windmill and you don't know what wind is, it looks like a perpetual motion machine, but there's still a
What
causation
about a
there because
metronome?
what is that?
What about a metronome?
So eventually,
I shouldn't say
friction.
metronome. Is that what I'm thinking of? The tick,
Yeah,
tick,
those are
tick.
battery operated. Those have a, they have a, it's
What's
like,
these little balls? Like, they swing it and
and they eventually
what's that called?
stop. I
Uh,
know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's the transfer of energy. Like if you have four of them,
mhm,
you hit it, it transfers that energy across, so that one goes flying. But at some point, that stops. The friction eventually gets to it. Gravity
mhm.
pulls down, wind, blah blah blah. But something to go perpetually and keep going, or even faster. Like Mike showed me a video of a guy that had something going and it just kept speeding up. No sooner did he show me that, I showed him the video of the guy that debunked it. It was a video backwards. The guy put the video making something look like it was speeding up when in reality it was polar opposite. So it's
Well,
like
what does this all say? This is all looking for 0 point energy.
something like that, right? I mean, the closest thing we
What
can
does
come
your
to that is like fusion
is
generators, right? Where you've got a
a nuclear,
small amount produce big effect. Yeah.
nuclear kind of stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 Yep.
Mhm.
I don't know.
What do you
I'll have to
think?
get
What
my
do you
brain around that.
know? What do you know, or what do you think about how close Tesla was to achieving? this.
Tesla was a man beyond his time. The one thing
Ah,
that
he is.
right?
Oh man,
I know. Yeah.
man.
There's people like that in our history, and he was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
The Da
the other
Vinci's and
thing,
shit. Yeah,
yeah, the one thing that I thought was fascinating that I thought was pretty cool, you know how like how
because he did
even
this
when
in
it
Colorado, didn't he?
did what now?
Didn't he do this in Colorado,
Uh,
where he kind of like tower out there, right? And
oh,
then he
I
was working on to try to make this 0 point energy, and
yes,
he was about to
yes.
fucking make an earthquake to break the whole Earth.
There was I remember reading or watching something about that, and it blew my
Now
mind.
you're on it. You're
I'm gonna
close. Yeah, maybe check it out and get out of here. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
have
was
to,
curious
man.
if how much you knew about it,
I got
because
some
that's where I
homework.
think he was working on it, and he was. I think he had figured it out, but the salesman of the day wouldn't allow such a thing.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, yeah. And the
No,
fact
it's not crazy. It's exactly what I would expect from people.
that, well, Edison kept pushing DC, direct current, and Tesla was like, no, alternating current's the way to go. And that's now our standard, alternating current. Sure, devices use
Well,
direct
that's
current for certain applications, but AC
right, right.
was superior to DC in terms of, to get our
Mm-hmm.
electricity. It's incredible. The man was, again, who thinks of that? Who thinks of that? It's
I
crazy.
don't know, man. People get in these spots in life. Like I heard, who was it? It wasn't Clapton. God damn it!
Hmm.
It was somebody famous though. Maybe it was Clapton.
Hmm.
It was a really, really, really. Oh, Bob Dylan, I think it was actually.
What
And
about
they
him?
were asking him. He was like, "How did you come up with these songs?"
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
even he doesn't understand how he came up with these songs.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because you get these points in life where you're just in a groove, a certain groove, and you're building on it. And if you would look at that 30, 40 years later, it's like, I don't know how the fuck I got there. I got there, but
Stevie Nicks, some of the stuff she wrote, like, like it's weird. It's like all these great artists, when they try to write something now, it sounds like crap. It was like,
well, they're not
it's
on
like
drugs anymore.
exactly, they're not on drugs, and their mindset is different, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, there's certain bands that could still write stuff, and I would like it, but they're kind of a shadow of their former self.
What's a
But you're
watered
absolutely right.
down version of it?
It is. I mean, the Beatles, right? My God, they were on a tear. Yes? I don't know if you're a big Beatles
Mm.
fan, but I just felt
Yeah,
like,
they're done it. Yeah.
yeah, they did some incredible stuff, But Van
Them,
Halen,
the Stones, a bunch of them.
yeah, yeah, Van Halen too. It's like they came to a point where
Yeah.
it's like stuff they started making after just didn't quite hit the same. It's interesting. Yeah.
This it makes me think about old Nietzsche line. He says, "It's hard enough to come up with all of these conclusions,
Hmm.
let alone remember all the reasons how I got here."
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's honest to God, that's pretty much it. It,
The thing that I try to bridge with my stuff that I write, because I'm like, I've been down this wormhole of like, and it's
right?
like, and I go to somebody, and they're like,
Yeah,
that's crazy. How did you get? I'm like,
yeah,
I don't remember how I did all that, but I got there.
yeah. Well, it's weird. It's crazy. It's timing. Call it karma. Call it whatever you want. But yeah, you're absolutely
No,
right.
the closest word I would use to this thing is amuse.
Hmm. Okay.
You get sucked up into this minutia of a thing, of a movement, of you're starting a band, and then you just, like I said, you build and build and build and build and build, and then if you were to look at it later, or somebody else looks at you, you're like, how the fuck did you get up there? And like,
Yeah.
and
Truth.
they'd be looking at you later, they'd be like, I don't know how the fuck I got up there, but I did, I guess.
I was watching a special on Queen and how they were writing
Mm,
stuff, and again, like, oh, we just got together in a
that's a lot.
room, and the next thing you know, it's like, they wrote some of the greatest hits ever, right? It's like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How?
I always wonder this about the classic rock guys because they wrote in this weird way where it was like a message, but a story, something you could follow. It's
Yeah,
like all these layers. I'm like, this is like what novelists do,
yeah,
but you just did it in song form.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
how the hell do you even do that? Like
yeah.
some of the concepts for the songs, like the old Stone songs. I'm like, how do you
Oh
even
yeah.
come up with this shit?
And it's so unique. There's nothing that you can equate it to. Nothing. It's on its own. It
Don't they
stands
have
on its own.
the wall painted black?
Yep. Yep.
what? Where are you going from here?
I mean, seriously. And a lot of them, like, they'll say, I had a dream and I woke up and I wrote stuff down, or I remember, was it Keith Richards? He said he was sitting in the bathroom and a tune came to him. It's like,
This is the
okay.
muse thing. That's the muse thing right there.
Yeah. 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 No, they just, I think you have to be receptive to it, if that makes sense,
I
right?
could, I
Because
could, I could, I could probably break your brain on what I think all this shit is,
I would love to hear
because
it.
I think it's essentially subconscious.
You think it's always been there and it just kind of percolates up? Is that the idea?
No, 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 no. I think like I could be wrong, but I think that I do this, and I try to use my subconscious, which sounds crazy because it's subconscious.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, I get you. I
So
get you.
this is the thing. This is the thing where a guy was in the shower and he had that great idea. This
Uh-huh.
is the thing where you asked the guy who came up with the business model, and he's like, "Oh, I was cutting my grass one day, and I came up with this great business model."
Hmm.
It's these moments, and I think these artists and stuff are no different. You get
Yeah,
into a field, okay, cheat code, let's go.
yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, it's obsessing. It's constructively obsessing
Hmm.
is essentially what it is.
That's
So,
true.
same way that humans don't learn through bits and pieces, humans learn best through immersion.
That is
If
true.
you want to learn Spanish, we could have a Spanish class that you go to a couple times a week. Or I could just throw your ass in Spain.
Yes.
Which way are you going to learn faster?
Yeah. My mom learned English that way from television and just watching it, and it was playing all the time. She's doing stuff, and next thing you know, her English was excellent, excellent. And I'm like,
Yeah,
she never
yeah.
she never had a one single solitary day in a classroom or a book. She just learned it through
It's
like
almost
you
like a
said,
burning
immersion.
of the boat situation.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You're absolutely right. I think you're
But
touching on a very important thing, immersion. Yeah.
if you, because obsessing, I mean, it gets a bad rap, but if you use it properly, it's an amazing superpower.
Newton. Newton locked himself in a room and actually created calculus that way. He obsessed over it. His power, his superpower was to concentrate on something so hard that he got to the result. He didn't get
That's
distracted. He just right. And there's a guy actually. I was just watching a video about that. He was talking about how to create a learning superpower. He called it, and he said you turn off every
mm-hmm.
freaking distraction, people, everything,
Yeah.
television, phone. It's got to be completely away from you, and you have to put yourself into the situation 1,000%. You gotta, and you can't let go of it until it starts to percolate up.
Mm,
You know. What are your thoughts?
from what I found, I don't think it's too productive. Like, so it's dude, this obsessing thing is like you never see these high achievers. They're obsessors. That's
They
exactly
are.
what they are. They
They are.
just found a productive way to use it. They could be a fucking cokehead if they made some different decisions in life,
It's
but
true.
they just
No,
chose
you're
some
100.
different paths.
No, it's true. No, you're 100% right on that one.
But like, so you said the locking in the room thing. See, I don't resonate with that. So I do the thing to where you lock yourself in a state and you're trying to get to the goal or the
Hmm.
end line, finish line, whatever the thing is of the problem you're working on.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I don't think There comes a point where it's like that law of diminishing returns.
You know what? I'm right there with you. I believe you're right. You have to
Yeah.
be able to sense when enough, take a break or do whatever, go out, smoke, walk, pet the dog,
Mm,
and then re-engage.
yep.
Right? Is that how you are? That's how
Right.
I am. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right. Because you said you have to have the discipline to stick to it, and I'm like, I actually just maybe I have the benefit of my life to do it, but I just let my curiosity go. I
yeah,
just let it go.
you are good. You are good with that, and that's what intrigues me about your way of thinking is because
It's fuck a bot.
right, but it's good. It's
That's
good,
what.
and because if you get like back to the original thing you talked about, what we learn in school, it just gets shoved in
Mm,
your head, and then have a nice day, go eat lunch, go
mm,
home, and
mm,
it's
mm,
better to be kind of more of a thinker, a free thinker, like you're demonstrating, or like when we converse,
mm,
it's like one of those situations where it's
mm,
nice to. I love watching people, I especially people that intrigue me or are successful, and try to understand what they're doing, how they're achieving it, what are they thinking, what are they saying, what do they expose themselves to, and I find that a lot of people that
what's
are
going on inside, or what mannerisms they have, or what ticks they have, or what
the
they're thinking. What are you looking for?
all of it, right? You want to like
The
kind of
whole package.
see. Well,
Yeah.
you want to see how they operate, and like, okay, here's a good
Mm-hmm,
example.
mm-hmm.
Um,
It's the beauty of podcasts, by the way.
oh, this is good. I like this, but it's true. No,
This,
it's
I
true.
mean, it's podcast because we used to have those 5 minute news things, right? Back and forth bullshit. But in
Right?
a podcast, you can really get into someone's psyche
You
and kind of
can.
understand their worldview, understand how they think, adopt it maybe for yourself, that kind of thing.
No, it's true. Listen, you and I
Yeah,
both
yeah.
know that imitation is what it's all about sometimes, right? Because everything we've done or do, somebody's probably already done it or did it, right? It's
It's
like
the ultimate form of flattery.
it's the ultimate form of flattery, right? Like that Heineken commercial or whatever, imitation of fun. But it's like one of those things. It's like, you know, I, it's kind of to bring it back to a martial arts thing when Mike and I competed. One of the things that I did, a lot of these guys would go out there and just do whatever, right? I would study the ones that got first place, and I would try to
Mm-hmm.
understand how did they get there, why is it first
Mm-hmm.
place, what did they do, and I came up with
See,
this
that's what
little
makes you great like that right there, because you're looking for every little, maybe I could take that. Oh, maybe I could
right,
take that. Because
right.
life is a la carte. It
It
really
is.
is. You take
It
what you
is.
want, you leave the rest.
And back to the travel, right? If you're able to travel and get more of those experiences, like when we went to London, totally different vibe than the United States, more historical, just the way people thought, think, do, say, eat, function. It's like I was taking it all in, and
The
I was,
whole, yeah,
it's what's that?
the whole culture is different. Yeah.
Oh, it is. And what's cool about it is I don't want to say it rubbed off on me, but it kind of helped me
No, you
understand.
do. It will.
But
It will.
it's like people behave a certain way in
But
different.
the negative, I don't like the negative. Because influence is inevitable in life. I
Yeah.
say this often, but I'm like, if people only knew how many different things in the world actually influence their thoughts, makes me
Hmm.
think about what you said a minute ago with all of the distractions gone. That's what you really need to focus on something. Everything from the trash didn't come this morning to there's bad news on the news channel
Right.
to my friend told me some story that I really loved, and so now I'm thinking about that. Or
Yep.
name a goddamn thing. It's like all of these external inputs in our influence.
It's true.
But when you come across stuff, you gotta let stuff influence you too.
Yeah.
You can't create this separation, this wall inside yourself of like, yeah, that's your fucking culture, not mine. It's like win. Fucking
Exactly.
win.
No, it's Brian. It's 100% true. Indian food. believe it or not, I introduced my
Mm.
wife to Indian food. I was working one day, I was walking down the hall, and this doctor, an Indian doctor, grabbed me by the shoulder and he said, "Would you come join us for a meal?" And he had one of the conference rooms. He had this big spread of Indian food. And I said, "What's the occasion?" He goes, "My son's getting married, and it's in our culture. We celebrate with everybody, like this type of thing." And he said, "Make yourself a plate." And I've never had Indian food in my life. And I just went around and I just kind of put a little bit of everything. Holy crap. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Everything turned Technicolor on me. I was like, this is incredible. This is wonderful. So I introduced it to my wife, and over the weekend we go to our favorite Indian restaurant. You know what I mean? It's like you said, and that enriches my life. That's the experience about travel we were talking about. That's the experience about culture,
Mm-hmm.
people, talking with you, talking with Michael. It's like we all may not a
Mm-hmm.
1,000% agree with one another, but there's these little things that make you kind of think about how to be a better person or make your life more fulfilling, like the way you think about stuff
Perspective.
and say,
Perspective.
right,
Perspective.
the perspective, because I'll push back, and I will, I'll push back a little bit, but then you'll say this, and then I'll go, damn, that's good. I can't, it's not, how can you push back on that?
It's
That's good stuff, man.
that's the shit I play with because it's like I run this thing and it's like everybody runs this thing. Yeah, but let's run this thing. Let's find.
Yeah, good point,
So
man.
another line in the travel, right? It says, "One must travel to learn every day now." Old scriptural phrases that never possessed any significance for me before take to themselves a meaning.
Hmm, interesting.
As old
Hell,
Twain line though,
hell yeah,
but he's
man.
just speaking on like the context. Yeah,
Twain, man. He had it going on. That's why they have an
he
award for
definitely
him.
did.
Yeah, the Mark Twain Award. It's-
Yeah, what is that award? I don't even know what the hell that award is.
yeah, I'll have to look it up, but I know it's like when you get an award named after you, I guess you made some sort of societal impact, I'm sure, you know, if you think of it that way. But, well, my brother, I appreciate you. I apologize. My daughter arrived here, and I'm I think we've touched on a lot of subjects, but I know darn well we can get way more in depth on all of it.
Way more
So,
deeper. So to your squirreling to the point, right? And then something I shared with you from Nietzsche a while back. I'm gonna read it to you again though,
sure.
because I see it's so applicable. It's that a thinker sees his own actions as experiments and questions, as attempts to find out something.
Mm,
Success and failure are for him answers above all. And what I'm thinking about here? I'm thinking about you looking for every little trick, every little one up that you can get from all the other elite guys doing what you do.
truth, man. That is a God honest truth.
Yeah.
And that's what that's
Everything a smart person does is an experiment in order to find out something. And I,
absolutely
I think the big thing here is that most people who think like this growth mindset, just assume that so many other people do too, or it couldn't be
hmm
further from the truth.
Yeah, it's sad like that, isn't it?
You
It's
know,
like they're trapped.
it is so sad, isn't it?
They're trapped, man. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right. Yeah. It,
that box.
it is. And you know what? And when they're stuck in that box, they they call it an echo chamber, right? They're like it's like everything is
Mm-hmm.
bouncing back at them and they never get past it. They never can get like more
Too much
mature,
influence.
too much influence. Don't even talk about politics. Right now, there's so many friends of mine that are in their political box to the point to where I can't even
Mm.
have a decent conversation with them. It's like they've subjected themselves to be that persona, and that's it. And it's like, my God, you're wasting your life. There's so much more. There's such a broader brush to paint the world with,
So
and you're just,
this is the double-edged nature of it all. I swear to God, because I look at this stuff like influence, right? And we see how detrimental it could be.
yeah,
But influence can be so positive. Like I said before on X, I'm like, because everybody hates on the influencer because it's got a bad name right now. But
right.
then Jesus was the original influencer. These guys were also influencers. And I said to the people on X before, I'm like, influencer this, I'm like, everybody just talks about influencer like it's shit because 40 million people follow Kim Kardashian's ass.
Yeah.
I'm like, but on this same platform, on X, I'm like, you could be following Socrates.
Truth. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. You're right.
So it's like, it's a tool. It's like everything else, it's a tool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people are so reckless with their attention, what they let influence them, and this and that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I think it's offensive
that's so crazy.
to allow yourself to not do your own homework, research, whatever, and just take whatever that person says for face value without any definitive facts or like I will listen to somebody and if they're spouting off,
Mm-hmm.
facts, figures, so on that they think they're facts or figures, I would kind of like to see the source myself too, because I can't
Mm-hmm.
trust sometimes what people like. I get it. We all come to conclusions, but in order for me to adopt anything you're saying, I want to do my own homework too. I will listen and go, yes, yes, yes. And then later I will look things up, And unfortunately, a lot of my friends are in that sort of that spatial bubble of thought where they don't do that. That whatever's told them, they start parroting it right back. And it's like, no, you need to do your own
Mm.
homework.
I think the thing here is that I wrote this on X a few days ago. It's like the ego wants to profess, and the intellect wants to inquire.
That is wow, man. All right, I got to write that one down. That's good. That is freaking good. I've never
Yeah,
heard it,
right?
and
Because
that is
that's where
so
people
true.
are. We're usually in one of those two mindsets.
That is so true. That is so freaking true.
Mm.
And maybe encouraging people to flex more of the intellect than the ego might be the thing that's going on here. Okay.
I think that the intellect has become a problem, actually.
In what
Actually,
manner?
talked about this with Michael last week, I think. You sure you want to go? Let's go.
I'd love to hear.
Short story.
Yeah. I can't let this go
So,
without knowing.
so we have sacrificed the intellect. Well, we have sacrificed everything to the intellect. We champion the intellect above all, and I think we're missing out on a lot of stuff because of it.
So beyond the intellect, what would you say is of value? What would
Because
what
we
would
can know
balance
things without our intellect.
by what now?
We can know things without our intellect.
You know, I have to agree. I have to agree. And I won't tell you why I agree with you, but I agree with you. There's when you just said
Well,
that,
I will tell you why,
go ahead.
and I can go further. But it's basically our intuition. We have sacrificed our intuition to the intellect to the nth degree, so much so that everybody fucking cherishes the intellect and doesn't even think about your intuition.
Mm. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah.
And as a guy, Constantine, that I love, was talking about with Jordan Peterson one time, and he nailed exactly what I think so much. Because he's not really religious, but the distilled short version is that I think, as long as he thinks, probably most religious people and anti-religious people think on opposite planes.
Mm.
That most people mistake the intuition for God.
Mm.
I think that when people talk about God, they use those two words interchangeably, whether they know it or not, because
Yeah,
they can't understand where it comes from. It doesn't come from the intellect. So it's like it's some other place. I don't know. Just the same way I said about subconscious, right?
yeah. One has to be careful with that. You're absolutely right. You have to be discerning enough to, uh, um, like,
Mm,
okay, there are
mm,
some people
mm.
that claim that God speaks to them audibly. I've never had that ever in my life, and I will never claim that, right? Um, do I feel like there are situations that have happened in my life that may be coincidental, understood, that I credit maybe the supernatural towards. And when I say supernatural, I'm encompassing God and so on. Are there certain
Mm-hmm.
instances that me personally, from my experiences, that I can equate, where an outsider might go, it's pure coincidence. You're just you're making it fit. Would you say God in the gaps, right? So it's like I'm with you, and I feel like your intuition. My wife says this all the time to me. We'll be late for something, and I'll be trying to drive very fast, and she'll go, "Well, maybe we're late for a reason. Maybe there's a rationale here that you're unaware of. Maybe
Yeah,
we're prevented from an accident that's going to happen if we were on time or blah blah
that's
blah."
right.
You
That
know,
is woo way.
and like you said, the intellect takes a side seat, to intuition. You're absolutely right. That's the best example I can
Well,
share.
no, the intuition takes the side seat to the intellect, but
Is
yeah,
what I
yeah.
meant to say. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah, but
good.
like, so the supernatural, I would say that the supernatural isn't really your intuition, though, because your intuition is internal. It's kind of like your gut feeling, right?
Yeah.
Also, it's
Yeah.
like you don't go against your gut.
And yet
Every time you do, you pay for it.
no, you're right. And yet we can't explain it, right? And yet we cannot explain it,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So, well,
Hmm.
promise me one thing.
It's hard to explain intuition.
Yeah, promise me we'll we approach this exact topic we're talking about soon, because I would love.
Intuition is a mother, dude.
I wanna dwell on that further. There's a guy that I like. He says this all the time. He goes into some really good stuff. I won't tell you about the subject matter. It doesn't matter. But he always says this. He goes, "Now what I've said," he goes, "if it's of value to you, meditate on it. Just take a little bit of time and just meditate on it." And I think that's so cool. So if there's something that I like that he said, my my next step is to,
Just
without
feeling it, dude.
without distraction, go sit somewhere and just meditate on it for a little bit. Just let it kind of, like you said, experientially kind of
I don't.
distill itself.
I don't even sit still. I don't even sit still most of the time when I'm chewing on these things.
I love it though. That's
So
cool.
I don't know how yet, but so the school thing was always to me. You're gonna remember stuff that you're interested in way more than you're gonna remember the other stuff.
That's true.
So when I said we remember one thing a day, I'm grabbing something that grabs me, and we're here now. Now I got you. And
Good point.
because the kid who likes biology is going to go way farther in it than the kid who just does it to get a grade.
It's true, man. You're right about that, Brian. No,
Yeah.
it's true. I agree. There's no comparison to learning something if you enjoy it. Like the whole astronomy thing. Like I've deep dived. Like I'm in it. Like I've been at it full time, if you will. Even like
Dude,
just
I had all kinds of stuff ready for us.
I hear you.
I had
Well, we will have to circle back, my friend. We will have to definitely circle back on all of this. So thank you so much, Brian. I'm so glad we got a chance to just spitball.
yeah, it's always fun, man.
That was a lot of fun. I
It's
enjoyed it.
always
Got my brain
fun.
going. Appreciate it, man. Rather than mindlessly staring at the television, this was definitely. Oh, there we go. Is that a rocket launch?
You see that?
Yeah.
It's an older picture now, but it's a Blue Origin launch
Yes, it is. Yes, it
from
is. Look at that.
January, I believe.
That's my goal to take a photo like that, man. That is my goal to take a photo like that.
So cool, isn't it?
It is amazing. I'm going to share with you what I took a photo of on Saturday night. Oh, there we go. I took that photo. I know that photo. That's the Veil Nebula. I will share that with you. Mine is back further. It's not
I
as
told
close.
you what it was.
I know that. I know that. As soon as I saw it, I didn't even have to read it. I know exactly what that is. All right, I'm going to send that to you. If you don't mind, humor me and let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you, man. I
No
appreciate you,
doubt.
Brian.
Remember,
I appreciate you,
the
brother.
ego
Over in Florida,
attempts to
we
profess.
got to meet up in person.
Yeah, sure, sure.
I will
Yeah,
buy
the
you
ego wants
beers.
to profess. The intellect wants to inquire.
I will. I appreciate that, man. I love that. I love that, and I'm so
It's a good
happy to
one.
meet you because you have such varied interests. You know what I mean? Like I get bored easily with
I
this,
let my
and
curiosity run.
I love
I
it.
don't think that many people give themselves the freedom to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I
I
agree.
think it's a big part of reaching these depths, though,
Yeah,
because you can't be hindered like that.
no, I agree.
Because some people have thoughts that scare them. Some people have thoughts that they think are inappropriate, and I just throw all the rules away sometimes.
There's always the gold nugget in there
it's,
somewhere,
the,
or two.
it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
I go in
it's.
places people are afraid to go. It's fun.
No, I get it, man. I get it. Well, I
All right, but you have some fun, have some family time, and then
yeah,
we'll
yeah, I
catch up.
appreciate you, man. We'll catch up next week. I know it won't be Mike's wife's birthday next week, so we'll definitely catch up.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
yeah, you too, man. Thanks for everything, Brian.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Take care, brother.